Dear Sagittarius, some say you have a very strange scent. Not the scent of perfume, nor of the body, but something that makes them shiver as if you had just stepped out of some sacred realm, a wanderer carrying the memory of a world no one dares to name. They don't understand. That isn't the scent of a person. It is the scent of a destiny preparing to awaken. And if you are a Sagittarius, there's a very real chance that you are the one heaven itself is whispering about. At the end of this video, I will reveal to you a sacred truth. You emit a rare energy, a signal from the soul that makes both people and darkness turn their heads. And if you've ever been misunderstood, if you've ever been judged, then this message will return to you your honor, your clarity, and the light you are always meant to carry. If these words stir something within you, affirm it by leaving a comment. I carry the fragrance of truth. Because it's more than just a sentence. It's a way for your soul to be heard in a world that has forgotten how to listen. And don't forget, you are watching a message meant for Sagittarius. Stay until the end, because what comes next will forever change how you see yourself. There is something science cannot explain, but the soul feels it clearly. It is the scent of a person. Not the scent of flesh, but the scent of a life lived. And if you are a Sagittarius, I know you've seen someone wrinkle their nose as you walk by. Not because you did anything wrong, but because you carry something they aren't ready to face. Freedom. In Western astrology, Sagittarius is the 9th sign, ruled by Jupiter, planet of expansion, faith, and divine wisdom. Sagittarius was not born to stand still. You came here to move, to seek something you yourself may not even know how to name. I once asked a 68-year-old Sagittarius, "Where do you feel most at home?" He just smiled and said, "Probably wherever I haven't been yet." And I understood. That is your essence. A person who stays rooted in one place will carry the scent of grass, of hearth, of comfort. But a soul that's wandered through many lifetimes carries the scent of things left behind. And that, dear Sagittarius, is you. They might say you smell like old books, stored in ancient monasteries, dust covered with soul. Or like incense smoke, rising only during sacred ancestral rites. Or maybe like earth after the rain, in a land no foot has ever touched. None of that is random. It is a signal. There's a truth I want you to quietly hear and feel. People aren't unsettled by your scent. They are unsettled because your scent awakens something they've buried deep. You are not the problem. You are the mirror, reflecting a truth they are not ready to meet. I once witnessed a Sagittarius woman being asked to leave a prayer group simply because she made everyone feel unsafe. Not because she was unkind, but because when she walked in, everyone suddenly felt exposed. The truth in her gaze melted the masks they had worn for far too long. You've walked into rooms, smiled warmly, only to be met with silence. A silence sharp as glass. And maybe you've wondered if something is wrong with you? Let me be clear. It's not that you're wrong. It's that you carry a scent their souls aren't ready to face. And if you've ever been pushed away for simply being who you are, remember this. You are not alone. You're just ahead of them by a few lifetimes. And so the scent you carry, though invisible, becomes a signal for other souls still asleep in the dark. Sagittarius souls often carry a sacred fragrance. They walk into others' lives like a flame, not to burn, but to illuminate the corners the light has never reached. And the irony is this, that light of yours, that scent you carry, makes many people want to step away from you. They don't hate you. They're just not ready to breathe in the scent of truth. Have you ever stepped into a room and felt every gaze hold itself back, every conversation suddenly fall silent? Not because you did something wrong, but because your presence shifted the entire energy of that room. If you've ever felt that, leave a mark of your soul in the comments. I do not apologize for being truthful. Your words are not just a personal release. They are the red thread connecting us. The souls who know we don't belong to a world built on illusion. The world has always preferred those who are pleasant over those who are true. But you were not sent here to be pleasant. You were sent to wake people up. You, Sagittarius, were born to preserve essence. You were never meant to change your scent. You were only meant to walk in the right direction, to find the place where your scent is received as a greeting. And if you're hearing these words with a trembling heart, maybe you're tired of explaining who you are. Stop now. You don't need to explain anymore. You are the light, you have returned. And yet here's the mystery. That very scent of your soul, that unhideable presence, is leading you towards something deeper. A talent, a gift that only those who have walked through darkness, through rejection, can be trusted to hold. In the next part, I'll reveal why the scent of your soul has begun to awaken, a power to see what others try to hide. If you're still here reading these lines, thank you. Thank you, brave and truthful soul. Please share this message if you believe it could bring light to someone standing close to the edge. Because not everyone has the courage to carry the scent of who they truly are. But if there's anyone who does, it is you. Sagittarius, you may not realize it, but right now, there is a very specific scent emanating from you. Not everyone can smell it, but those attuned to the light, they will know. According to ancient astrology, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, the planet of expansion and truth. Jupiter does not only carry knowledge, it carries a divine aroma, the scent of souls who have walked through darkness and still found their faith. If you are a Sagittarius, know this: you are never meant to hide. You cannot be dimmed, because the light in you is meant to lead. I once heard a Sagittarius say, "Every time I walk into a space, I can feel someone immediately shift how they look at me." And then she asked me, did I do something wrong? I placed my hand on my heart and said to her, softly, as if speaking to every soul who carries light inside them, "No, love, you didn't do anything wrong. You are radiant, and those who are not ready to face the light will always feel uncomfortable. The light you carry, it doesn't come from success. It doesn't come from applause. It comes from every fall you've survived, from every time you chose to rise with a heart that refused to hate. And that is the scent that makes you impossible to hide. You can't spray on perfume just to please the world, because you were never meant to make people comfortable. You were born to awaken them. You may not think you're special, but when you walk into a room, the air shifts. When you speak, what's hidden begins to stir. Not everyone is ready for that, but you are ready now, because you are Sagittarius. There will be moments when you feel utterly out of place, as if you were born into a world that was never made for those who speak truth. But in those very moments, your soul is being activated, like a flower bud opening when no one expects. Quietly, proudly. You don't need anyone to understand you. You only need to remember, you are not here to please them. You are here to awaken them. I say this not just with knowledge, but from walking beside many souls. Every Sagittarius who has endured misunderstanding was being prepared by God for something vast. Because before a soul is given a divine mission, they must walk through a sacred solitude, a place where only the voice within remains. If you're in that place now, please don't give up. You are in the final stages of soul activation. Your scent, it is no longer something you carry. It is what you are becoming. Whisper this with me, even if only in your mind. I am ready for my soul to shine. Because the moment you say this, the universe will know. A star has begun to release the fragrance of truth. If your heart feels like this message was made just for you, leave your soul's vow in the comments. I no longer hide. I am the light. A comment is not just a sentence. It is a red thread that connects you with every Sagittarius who is remembering who they are. And when your soul has been activated, another power begins to rise. A sacred vision of the soul. A gift that lets you see what others try to conceal. You will sense the pain hidden behind a smile. You will feel the truth even when no one speaks it. In the next part, I will guide you into that sacred place where no one can lie to your gaze, because your soul has learned to see through light. You've walked into a room, smiled in kindness, and were met with silence. Not loud, but sharp. Eyes that said nothing, yet you felt everything. Not because you did anything wrong, but because you sensed something they didn't want to reveal. And they, though they never said it, felt that you could see right through them. As someone who has studied astrology for over 50 years, I've met many Sagittarians across generations, cultures, and time. And I've discovered something that rarely changes. Sagittarius souls carry a kind of silent second sight. They don't need to hear your words. If they simply stand near you, they can feel the energy you're trying to hide. Some call it prophecy. But I believe, for Sagittarius, this is the natural result of living honestly, feeling deeply, and seeing far. They have walked through enough darkness to know when light is fake. They have carried enough pain to recognize the wounds others never speak of. And the scent they carry is the forgotten scent of truth. No one wants to look into a mirror if they know they're wearing a mask. And so, when you, Sagittarius, walk in like a mirror, you are not welcomed. Not because you are unkind, but because you are too real. Each of us carries a scent. The scent of our stories, our wounds, our hopes, our faith. But the scent of Sagittarius, it carries something most people avoid. The mark of a soul that has already seen the truth. You don't need to name what it is. You only need to show up. And their soul will already begin to tremble. Because when real light enters, darkness no longer has a place to hide. Have you ever walked into a place and felt as if someone silently stepped back, even though you hadn't said a single word? If so, you are not alone. And you are not wrong. You are simply living at the frequency of your soul. Tell me, where was the first place you felt others were on guard the moment you arrived? Your story might become the light for someone quietly wondering, is there something wrong with me? And the answer is, you are not ordinary. You are Sagittarius. Some people spend their entire lives trying to be loved by hiding the truest parts of themselves. But Sagittarius is different. They were born to speak what others only dare to think. They were born to keep the fire of truth burning, even if that fire makes others squint. And if you've ever felt rejected, labeled, too sensitive, too different, remember this. That's the first sign your gift of seeing through souls is waking up inside you. Because once your soul awakens, and the light you carry begins to touch the truths others try to hide, another gift will rise with it, the power to heal, simply through your presence. In the next part, I will take you into this sacred ability, a gift Sagittarius holds even if you've never known it was there. A fragrance of healing that rises from the very wound you once tried to hide. There are scents that will never be bottled. No store will ever sell them. No commercial will ever promote them. But they are real. And you carry one of them with you. Others may call it the smell of smoke, of old pain, of sorrow that never fully left. But you and I, we know what it is. It is the scent of truth. In astrology, when the moon, symbol of emotion, or Chiron, the planet of healing, resides in Sagittarius, a person carries a very distinct scent. The scent of someone who has lived so honestly, they're called too much, too raw. They don't know how many nights you cried in silence, how many times you chose to forgive instead of seek revenge, how often you kept your voice still while your heart wanted to scream at injustice. And then, one day, you hear them whisper about you with dismissive eyes. She's so strange. He feels heavy somehow. I remember a 60-year-old Sagittarius woman who once sat across from me, her eyes quiet like the moon after a storm. She told me, "They say I smell like ashes, like old memories, like things long gone. But I know, it's the scent of what I've survived. I don't need anyone to call me fragrant. I just need to know I'm still alive and I'm still real." I took her hand and whispered gently, "And that scent is the most beautiful one I've ever known. This world will always try to reshape you, try to make you lighter, more agreeable, more easy to digest. But you were never meant to be a pebble on the path. You are the wind carrying the message of the cosmos. How could you not carry a scent? If anyone has ever told you, you're too real, you're too intense, you don't fit in, and with the eyes of awakening, say, I don't need to fit in. I only need to be aligned with my soul. You don't need to change your scent, because every time you live in truth, the universe takes a step closer to you. And God, even if the world doesn't see, still sees you and smiles. You were born with a scent of soul that is entirely your own, not always pleasant, not always liked by the crowd, but it is the very thing that helps the right ones find you among millions. If these words make your heart tighten, if it feels as though someone is finally voicing a part of you you've never dared to speak aloud, then whisper with me or write it in the comments as a soul ritual. I do not apologize for being truthful. I am the light. I have returned. And when you speak those words, your soul will hear itself for the first time after all the years of silence. You don't need anyone to confirm it. You don't need anyone to understand. You only need one thing: to know you've come home. In the final part, I will help you look back at every scent you've tried to hide and see clearly. They were never something to be ashamed of. They are the markings of a soul that has walked through shadow and is now ready to shine one last time. As the final gift you offer this world, you've journeyed with me through it all, from the scent of isolation to the fragrance of truth, from the ache of being misunderstood to the light of a soul that finally knows who it is. And if you're still here, sitting quietly, listening to each word, feeling every thought settle in your chest, then you're ready. Ready for something greater, deeper, quieter, but powerful enough to touch the roots of another soul. Because your scent now is no longer the residue of your past. It is an invitation, a calling from the universe, that the time has come to awaken a gift that's been sleeping inside you for so long. A very special ability. Not loud, not showy, but when you enter a room, you'll feel what others are hiding. You'll hear the lies in their eyes and the silent cry behind their smile. In the next part, I will guide you deeper into this sacred skill. A talent few understand, but for Sagittarius, it is the sixth sense bestowed upon you to fulfill your greater calling. Have you ever felt like you knew too much about someone just by being near them? It wasn't their words, it wasn't logic, it was your knowing. If so, share it with me. Your story is not strange. It is proof that your gift is waking up. If this video has touched you, please share it. Not for me, but for someone who may be standing dangerously close to the edge of hope and despair, and may need just one sentence, one breath of light to decide not to give up. And now, if you feel ready, if your soul has remembered, if you no longer wish to apologize for being the light, then rise, or close your eyes, and whisper to yourself and to the universe, you were never made to please them, only to remember that the light within you was sent to awaken, not to comfort. And if you truly say that from the heart, then from this moment on, everything within you will begin to shift. Are you ready to step into the next part, where the light within you will not just be accepted, but used to awaken the light in others? I'll meet you at the next gate, where the soul gift of Sagittarius will begin to reveal itself, where you are not just someone who lives in truth, but the one chosen to lead the way.